Hey guys, and welcome back to Inktober. I know it's been a while, but today's video is going to be days 7 through 10, so we have a lot of catching up to do. And right off the bat, I just want to say I hope you guys can hear a difference in audio quality. I actually got a new microphone, a blue Yeti Nano, and so far I'm really happy with the audio quality of this microphone, but I just wanted to let you guys know. So let's go ahead and get into the artwork. So for day 7, the prompt word was Enchanted, and I was actually looking through my really old Instagram posts from, years ago, and I actually found a picture that I drew of this sort of fortune teller woman. I'll throw it up on screen, and I thought that fit the prompt really well. At first I was just going to draw like a witch or something. I dabbled with the idea of maybe drawing like a really sort of seductive type of witch, but I didn't really like that idea all too much. It just seemed kind of basic to me. But once I found that photo, I knew I wanted to challenge myself to, redraw it. So that's what I'm doing now. And, you can definitely see how much I've improved from whenever that photo was taken from, until now. It was definitely a really big confidence boost. So for the colors, I wanted it to give off the feeling of, being really mystical, sort of. Well, obviously, like the word would say, enchanted. I wanted it to look very magical. And I tried to give the crystal ball that she had a sort of glowing effect. And when I drew the skull, I was kind of hoping that the skull would look like it was part of the smoke, sort of the fog or whatever you want to call it that was inside. Although I don't think I really achieved that, I do like how it turned out overall. But you can see I'm giving the crystal ball that sort of green yellowish glow, and I also had to think about putting that glow on her hands and her face, because the light would bounce off of her skin. So it was kind of a challenge for me too, trying to see if I could pull that off. And I really loved how it came out. There you can see I'm darkening up her face a little bit. I wasn't too sure after I put it down if it even looked good, but I do think it helped sort of tone down that glow a little bit. You can still see that it's there very faintly, but you can definitely tell that the crystal ball is supposed to be glowing. I wasn't too sure what to give her, like robe or like her cloak or whatever you want to call it. I didn't really know what color to make it, but I knew I wanted her hair to be that light pink color, sort of like a cotton candy sort of color, because later on in the video I'll make the background sort of a really dark blue. So I thought the dark blue with the pink hair was a really good contrast. This is my first time doing Inktober, and so I think maybe if I do decide to do this next year, I might just go ahead and once the prompt list is released for that year, I might just go ahead and maybe dabble with a few ideas for every word. That way maybe I can make changes sooner and maybe develop a more finished piece. Of course, that's not what Inktober is really about, you know, it's just more, it's a challenge to help you work on your inking skills. But, like I said, I'm not too sure if I'll do this next year or not. But so far, I'm really glad that I did. I'm having a lot of fun with it. It can be pretty, challenging at times. This next drawing that I'm doing is day number 8, which is Frail, and the first idea that came to mind was like a really skinny lady, maybe like an old lady, or maybe like a monster or something like that. I started thinking about flowers. You know, flowers are very fragile, and also at this time, on this specific day, it was a little rough for me because I wasn't feeling the most confident in my drawings, just because I knew that I was capable of making more finished and more refined pieces, but you know, when you see other people's Inktober drawings and they actually look like full-fledged illustrations, and then, you know, I compare them to mine and I feel like mine aren't as glamorous as the ones I see on Instagram. So that kind of gave me the idea, combined with the flower idea. I decided to make a field of these really pretty sunflowers. At first I was supposed to draw, I was supposed to fill in the entire space of the sunflowers, but that was going to take too long, and like I said, I was running behind and I didn't really feel like drawing that many flowers, so I just kind of spaced them out, just to give you the idea that it's a big field of these sunflowers. I did the field of sunflowers and then a lone, just little daisy, I guess, that's kind of beaten up a bit. He's still going though. And then later on I sort of darkened the edges because there's supposed to be this spotlight on him. Maybe the sun's rays or something that's just shining down on this one little flower. I didn't mean for this one to have, such a deep meaning or a little story behind it, but, that's just kind of how I was feeling that day, so I think it worked out overall. With the limited Copic markers that I have, it was kind of hard for me to darken the sides in the way that I wanted. I think it worked out more or less. You just kind of get the gist of it, so that's day number 8. So for day 9, the word was swing. The first thing that came to mind was an actual swing, and that was just something I couldn't get out of my head. I mean, I don't know, there was just something about it that I just really wanted to draw. And I had to make it sort of different though, I didn't want to just draw someone on a swing, but I'm really a big lover of birds. In a way, I love them in artwork. and in real life too, but I think mostly in artwork. I like what they symbolize and all that. I like when I see paintings and drawings of like the birds sitting on like the wire, the phone lines or whatever they are. And I first drew the girl on the swing, and she kind of looks like well, she kind of reminds me of one of my characters from my comic, but she also looks like, I used to draw this one girl back in my older sketchbooks who always had like this platinum blonde hair, and she had like a yellow shirt, and I think at one point I gave her overalls. I can't remember, but I'll throw a picture up too. That's an old Instagram post as well. But anyway, I thought I would just combine the two ideas, and this is just what I came up with. I wanted something kind of basic, just because I thought it would just, I wanted you to be focused more on the girl on the swing with the bird, and then just sort of have this minimalistic background. As far as the colors, pretty basic. Blue for the overalls. I like the birds to be black. Whenever I draw birds, I just like them to be black. I gave her, that really bright yellow shirt, and you'll see that it does, it matches this one random character I used to draw all the time. She wasn't even a character, it was just, I don't know, I just had a thing for drawing, like, whenever I would draw, like, younger girls, they would just have this platinum blonde hair, and I guess to make them look younger, you kind of use the primary colors, the red, the blue, and the yellow, and, it kind of gives the idea of, like, youthfulness and stuff like that, so those are the colors that I picked. So for day 10, the prompt word was pattern, and for whatever reason, as soon as I heard pattern, I thought of a pinstripe suit. Not necessarily sure why, but I did. And it reminded me of this famous painting. I think it's called Son of Man, and I can't remember the artist's name right off the top of my head either, but it's this famous painting, basically the same sort of concept where this man is standing in a suit, or in I think it's more of like a coat really, but I made it into a suit. And he's just standing there, and his face is actually covered up by a green apple, and that's why there's apples kind of floating around him. Of course, I didn't want to draw, I didn't want to copy it exactly. I just sort of took the initial, I guess, the pose, you can say, and I just cut off the head and just replaced the apples to be, next to him. And I tried to get the color scheme, or at least get the colors pretty close to the actual painting. You'll see here in a minute after I'm done inking all this. So like I said, there's not really much to say about the coloring. I just tried to get it as close to like the painting, the original painting, as possible. I tried to incorporate, the sky and the clouds behind him. I believe there was supposed to be like a fence or something, but I just kind of faded out into like a deeper, not a deeper purple, but like a lighter purple. And just inked the clouds so you can see them a bit better, and that's about it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate it. I actually started a Ko-fi, so if you like what you see and you want to support me, you can definitely check it out. Links will be in the description for both my Instagram and the Ko-fi. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys!